beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't it Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different...
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Good evening, welcome back on into ESL Challenger League Season 50. This is Asia Pacific Cup number 2. We are in the double elim bracket. We are down in the lower bracket final today. It's Selfish going back once again. after catching up with a little bit of the shenanigans in Oceania, and I think we're kind of going to get something similar today. Another one of those sort of interesting matchups. Two teams that we've been getting used to seeing butt heads every now and then, but of course this time over in Asia. So the Huns and Unsettled Resentment is what we've got for you today. And Mac, how are you feeling about this matchup?
I'm feeling thank you. And then the matchup was, I think it should be all right. Like, you're looking at where we are already. You know, Huns have been performing and barely dropped the map to even get to this point. And then over on the other side of things, you know, it's been a fun road for them. I feel like Unsettled Resentment have it. Look, honestly, no, I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen too much of them, but when we have seen them, I think they were a little bit impressive, you know, last time, but I think there's been a couple of roster changes since then. So keen to see what they can bring to the table. But, you know, Mongolian CS is on the come up, has been on the come up for a while now, and the Huns have some names that can definitely bring the firepower. So I feel like it's going to be a difficult one. A difficult argument to tell me that Unsettled Resentment is going to come into this one as favourites in any sense of the word.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but I think there's definitely some decent performances from Unsettled Resentment. Obviously, their last matchup, as you can see here, doesn't quite go the way of Unsettled Resentment. They, they lose 2-0. However, some pretty close maps, and even the matchup prior to that, they were able to actually take a map off of, or take a couple of maps off of the Huns. So, I think it's a world where on a good day, Unsettled Resentment can definitely challenge the Huns. Like, it's one of those, like, fallacies that we kind of fall into a little bit when we're watching these Asian matches, and you go, oh, the Huns, I know those guys. Like, oh, I know Score, I know Nine, I know a lot of these names, and oh, they must be the favorites. And to an extent, they are the favorites. I think that it's probably fair to say that they are. But to just write off Unsettled Resentment is probably an incorrect take, I would suggest. So let's not write them off just yet. Looking at the map stats here for the Huns, obviously you can see they've had a few decent maps in recent times. Dust 2, Nuke, Inferno been looking pretty decent for them. But again, I think Unsettled Resentment's a pretty exciting roster to kind of keep an eye on, right? We always want to keep a little bit of an eye on what's happening in the sort of tier 2 space of Mongolia and China specifically. Obviously for Unsettled Resentment, they are a Chinese team, and yeah, there has been a couple of roster changes. Flying was in this roster the last time that we got to watch them play, but obviously when it comes to that team, there's a little bit of firepower available across the board, and I think you can say the same thing obviously about the Huns as well. We know what the talent level looks like in Mongolia. We've decided to go with a bit of an older head this time for the player to watch. Nine has actually been their best performer, statistically speaking, throughout this season, or this cup of ESL Challenger League. And, you know, also someone that I think is a bit of a barometer for this team. He typically can be the one that sometimes gets the team over the line with his individual prowess. And so hopefully he'll have a good night tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what he's going to be able to do. Has had a couple of international opportunities as of late, so should be able to bring that experience back and hopefully get a little bit closer to locking in a chance to make it to Pro League over towards the next year. But here, it's just about, you know, staying on top, getting enough VRS points, and, you know, Mongolia is one of the regions where they're going to be able to play for a bit more VRS more often. China as well, you know, seem to have a few more lands to play in, and also the these other couple of cups that we're seeing online, allowing teams from this region as well as some other teams coming in from Europe to come through and potentially farm up some VRS points, which, you know, over the next couple of weeks is going to be very important to make sure you can edge your way towards the major.
Yeah, it's a very valid point. I don't even think at this point, though, for the Huns that it's a case of edging their way into the major. They're looking pretty comfortable to be able to make their way through. They're looking pretty squarely situated in 4th place, maybe, depending on what FlyQuest is able to do over at Draculan. I think that's their last opportunity. There's a chance that if FlyQuest can pick up some points there, they might be able to leapfrog the Huns. But obviously there's been a lot of tournaments over in Mongolia, specifically a lot of LAN opportunities as well, which means they are, in comparison to some of the other regions in Asia, actually able to pick up those LAN points. And that's where both Huns and Chinggis Warriors are getting a massive benefit from how things are playing out in their domestic region. But it's less about that. It's less about the VRS, I think, in the moment here for Huns, because they're looking pretty comfortable already. Just want to see them playing a good game of Counter-Strike. You know, we want to see this as being a team that will most likely be representing Asia at the major. Just play a damn good game of Counter-Strike. Now, we've got the map, Vito, here. You'd be looking at the map, Vito, and you'd be thinking, these are some interesting picks and bans. This was an auto pick and ban from Unsettled Resentment. They didn't apparently rock up in time for the veto. So they've actually decided to pick into Nuke. Overpass picked into by the Huns here, which is the opposite of what I was originally told. So I'm not sure which way that veto's actually ended up going, whether it was a Nuke pick from the Huns or whether it was an Overpass pick from the Huns. But either way, I mean, looking at the two maps there, both Nuke and Overpass on paper look really good for the Huns, and there's actually nothing to go off for Unsettled Resentment. Those are not maps that we've got any recorded officials on. It's certainly not in terms of the style of maps either that we've seen them play. You know, they seem to angle towards the Dust 2s, the Mirages, the Ancients. Obviously, the Ancient is the primary pick for them. And then stylistically, you know, I think that's a map that can be a little bit similar to the likes of your D2 and your Mirage. So obviously, going into something like an Overpass and a Nuke is a little bit of a different ball game. And so just looking at those opening couple of maps, you'd say that is very, very favorable for the Huns, and largely because of the fact that Unsettled Resentment have not arrived in time for the veto. Now, with Ancient being obviously a decider map, if somehow Unsettled Resentment can get through one of those first two maps, get it into the decider, maybe there's a very real possibility that they can, at that point, ultimately go on to win this series. I think it is definitely within their purview to be able to take Ancient, but I do have my doubts about the Nuke and the Overpass.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You know, they didn't turn up for the veto. Did they remember they had a game today? Will they turn up for the game? All of these questions and more should be answered shortly. And also, if Unsettled Resentment are good or can play Overpass at all, or train, or whatever way it ended up going, Nuke. What do you end up getting? Overpass, Nuke. Sorry, it's all over the place because of the auto there. It's throwing my head off a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one as long as we get to play it. A bit of Overpass, bit of Nuke, a bit of the fringe maps. And you know that over in Asia, they generally like to play a lot of Nuke. So eyes more towards there for probably, on paper, a better game. Unless we're all going to be surprised and Unsettled Resentment just play every map just as equally as good as each other.
I mean, it is possible. That's often what you do get from these, I would say, lesser-known teams that are coming through the ranks in Asia. I've certainly seen a few of those kind of pop up in more recent times, specifically from the Chinese region. There's names like Last Bullet, Boring Players, Kaleido. I mean, people will be familiar with Just Swing and Fengdar as well. But a lot of these names, I think, if you're not someone that's somewhat invested in the Asia scene, they're just like, oh, who are, like, literally have not heard of that team before. And then you'll look at the names on paper and you might know maybe one or two of the players, but you probably aren't super familiar with the team as a whole. But yeah, there's a lot of like these teams just kind of popping up here in China specifically. Seems like there's a lot of interest growing in the game over there. We'll take a bit more of a look here at some of the players to kind of keep an eye on. I think Twinkie's definitely someone that is worth mentioning. He's the highest rated player for Unsettled Resentment and has been actually one of the higher rated players in this season, top 5, in this cup for this cup of ESL Challenger League. So even despite the fact that Unsettled Resentment is probably not a team that would be like on the tip of your lips if you were talking about who are the top teams in this season of ESL Challenger League, you know, it's still been a decent individual performance from him. And yeah, they were obviously knocked down into the lower bracket earlier on in the competition by the Huns, but they have made that lower bracket run in the same way that actually the Huns have after being knocked down pretty early on as well. Just they've ended up on opposite sides of the lower bracket, and now they're meeting once again in the lower bracket final. So I would look at this point probably throw my hat in the ring and just say I think the Huns probably do get a 2-0 tonight, just by virtue of the way that the veto has played out. But let's see if Unsettled Resentment have anything that they can surprise us with on map 1 or 2 here on Overpass or Nuke, which are both maps that we have not seen them play an official on yet. And it seems like maybe on the outset, the answer is no.
Yeah, no trade game coming through. Unfortunate for the lurker there. It looks like it must have been a nasty shot from Cobra Zera. That being said, score ready to activate over on the front side of bathrooms. What do we got here? Oh, timing. Almost given the boys from China an opportunity, but score escaping away. Slayer able to take the head off of Bartak.
Yeah, it's not going to be a huge concern for the Huns to see Bartak going down like that just yet, but does start to give a little bit of an inroad to Unsettled Resentment. You've got Zerolt over here, who will probably be the prime piece of the puzzle with that defuse kit and the flash available. There's a flash actually in from Unsettled Resentment, and so far no kills coming through from the CTs, which is going to get you a little bit worried. Twinkie with that P250 starting to do a bit of damage. Cobra Zera though, nice sharp shot, will dislodge it. And it is put over the line by the Huns. I always get a bit worried when you see like a hit come onto the site against USPs and there's like 5 or 10 seconds of no CT kills. You're like, uh-oh, the Glocks have been able to close the distance. Now things are starting to shift, but ultimately not the case in this particular instance as the Huns are able to close out that round. No bomb plan either for Unsettled Resentment means that there's probably not going to be a whole lot thrown into this round, and it is indeed just going to be one flash for Slayer and a full set of Glocks. So I can only imagine what Unsettled Resentment are going to get up to with this.
Keeping the spacing nice and close here. 4 on the front side. Score will have a helping hand with 9 not too far away. And ooh, head on the swivel. Score. Lovely work out of him. And 9's going to be able to mop up shop as well as retrieve the M4 here in party. So Huns all over it. And you are not quite giving us much to go off yet. So we'll see now that they have utility and rifles, what they're going to be capable of bringing into the game. If that's much, if it's just going to be, you know, a bit of a pack mentality. Let's find out right now.
Yeah, let's see what that level is going to look like on the T side. It'll be a real barometer. First thing I can say there for the Huns is that the molly to playground has missed in this round, so it's one of those pieces of util that we do see reasonably often not connecting. Oh, that's nice from Zerolt. Just spotting Adipos. And we'll take that kill nice and easy through the wood wall. Flash through the top of Con. Able to just sort of clear that out, but a nice calculated aggression out from the Huns here. They get that kill into short water and they take that control. Then 9 gonna set himself up at the bottom of Con, just looking for another pick, and now another flash over the top from the CT side this time around.
Okay.
That's not worked out for Score. Again, you know, aggression from Score that may have been a little bit unnecessary in that round, given the advantage that the Huns do possess. It does give them a bit of an early information that it is going to be an A-site hit, and it's not looking like Unsettled Resentment are up to anything too funny, but they're finding those entries and they're starting to cause a little bit of a ruckus. Incens are going too deep to deny the plant. Now we're really just relying on whether or not that flank is going to have any kind of an impact. Bartak does get one, but Cobra Zera down in the meanwhile. Flash over the top of Long for Bartak. He spots out the player at Dice, but 9 is having a real difficult time of actually getting involved in this round. He might have actually been given a shot in by whoever that is, Invisible.
Yeah, they've got different names in game.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, mate. Look, he's just. Yep, he's that. Is it 9?
Yeah. No, see, that's an example of like. That round, I think, is a perfect example of why it's hard to sometimes get too excited about some of these tier 2 Mongolian teams. Basically any Mongolian team that's not the Mongols. You look at that round, okay? It's a 5v3. and they find a way to to lose it so easily. And I feel like it's not uncommon for that to happen. That's my big problem with these Mongolian teams, is that the discipline or the structure is just not there. Like, you have such a clean advantage, and then, you know, Score's kind of holding on to bathrooms on his own, and then you just sort of slowly but surely kind of like one by one lose fights. And that's the problem with these teams. They really rely on their individual fights, and if they're not winning those, then they're losing rounds pretty hard. And well, there's another nice entry from Unsettled Resentment, and all of a sudden this map and even potentially this series feels like it starts to take a bit of a shift as Unsettled Resentment finding their feet. Bartak hiding inside of a smoke, looking for a timing out of it. In fact, still hiding inside the smoke, and he's surely going to find a timing here. No, he's been spotted out. One player not quite going to be denied. Nine, though, still getting some decent damage down, and again continues to be that impact player for the team. Has now spotted out another one and gets a great shot through. But, man, yeah. Look, I don't really know what to say, but the Huns have won the round, so that's all we can take away. What do you think? Do you agree?
I agree. I agree that the Huns won the round, and there's not much to take away from it.
No, more so the original sentiment that they're a bit of a messy team, rely a bit on the individuals to kind of like get them through rounds a lot of the time.
Yeah. I think, yeah, they're very sharp individuals, but yeah, as you mentioned, if it feels like it could be quite easy, it's very easy to like lose control. So you really need, you know, just a good leader to make sure everyone isn't doing silly things. You'll see it a lot of the time as well with, you know, just like tier 2 teams in Europe where someone will be like, oh, this is too easy, and they want to like go for a smoke push for no reason without a flash, and then also off no information that there could be 5 individuals on the other side of the smoke just waiting there. And, you know, some of the better teams are the ones that don't do that, or have people sort of keeping people in check, saying, hey, you know, we have a man advantage, or, you know, giving them reason to do the right thing.
Yeah. This was a conversation that we had on the podcast recently, obviously with Urkas moving out of FlyQuest, and you kind of wonder, like, what's he going to be up to next? And I feel like he could just slot so well into one of these teams from Mongolia, someone like a Huns, like a Chinggis Warriors, you know, an IHC, Eruption, like Nomads, all these names. Like, there's a lot of talent in Mongolia on an individual level. You know, we saw what Nine can even just do in that last round, for example. Like, that it was some really great AWPing from him. But with the extra level of experience that Urkas has now got, kind of like with, you know, some I would say, 12 months or maybe longer than that, probably 18 months with FlyQuest internationally. Sure, maybe he wasn't the right fit for FlyQuest at a certain point, right? Like when they're pushing to be, I don't know, maybe a top 20 team in the world, like that's their goal. But like, could he turn the Huns and Chinggis Warriors from being this like inconsistent tier 2 force into someone that's like pushing to kind of compete at a tier 1 level in the similar vein as like a Tai Lu or a Lin Vision? I think that's definitely doable. I think that's definitely possible for him. But we'll see where he ends up, as it's a bit of a moot point for this series. For now, it is the Huns that are still trying to hold on, and this is nicely timed from Bartak. He will get brought down by Slayer, but he's kind of done his job. And see, again, this is where I think, does Zeralt necessarily need to be pushing his way on his own here?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Like, if Slayer would turn around, kill Zeralt there, that could have been problematic, but not the case in the end. And so 4-1 is the score.
I think, yeah, there is the argument that some teams just like to have that kind of aggression as their persona, you know, as their image.
That's valid.
And that's
definitely valid.
That's okay. But I like when it's successful, and I like when it's aided by things. Like if he's getting aggressive, say there's like someone on B site or whatever with a flash, someone flash for him to go out that contact.
Yeah.
Yes, there's an angle saying, that's a tell. He's going to be looking at me. He could hit a blind shot. But if you run out dry, he could also be looking at you and not blind. So there's arguments for and against for a lot of choices people make in this game. And it just depends on the team's mentality and being all on the same page. So if you're all on the same page, you're all going to get aggressive. You're happy to lose by making mistakes, then that's fine. As long as you don't get tilted and throw more rounds or throw the game because of it. Anyway, You are back on the guns and still yet to find too much success. You can see Adipos over towards short there. Seems to know what he's doing on the lurk, so covering his own back on a spot that head on the jump peak. And whoever that is in Con, Twinkle, he's just posted up. Waiting for another jump around, but can also hear the rotation as well. That's the power of short control. You can hear exactly what the CTs are doing if they go loud at any given point.
Well, Monster Smoke has actually faded here, and the Huns have decided to walk out Monster, which actually, in this timing, has worked out really nicely for them. Now, Twinkie back up short was not expected by Cobra Zera. It's an easy equalizer for Unsettled Resentment, but with 25 seconds left on the clock, score again going to go down over on the A side of the map with some level of aggression. And that is going to be the door opened back up for Unsettled Resentment. They're going to walk a player out Monster Tunnel as well. So Bartak might get caught in transition here, but it's really all on 9 to try to solo hold the A side. He's missed that opening shot, and that means he's probably a dead man, as Slayer will get on the line. And a second for Unsettled Resentment. That was a roll. Thinking about having a bit of a look here, but better off just saving. Taking that gun through to the next round. Unsettled Resentment definitely making some inroads. You know, they're doing some work on this T side that's keeping the Huns honest.
But even if it keeps them honest, is it the right thing? Is it a good idea to forget to veto, Jordan?
No.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I don't think it is.
Is it a good idea to throw knife rounds?
Probably not.
I don't think that is either. But Trident used to, hey. And they still managed to be an okay team in Australia.
That's a throwback.
I miss those glory days. Bartak, hoping he can find some damage, but takes more than he gives there. Through the wood wall. Score and 9, playing a cheeky long setup towards long bathrooms as well as at the tree. Slayer able to take Zeralt out of the mix. 9. Mate, you gotta watch the smoke if you're playing that close. What you doing? This is a little bit silly.
And again, very individual holds. You know, one player takes a fight on his own, the next player takes a fight on his own. It's not really worked out for them. Money's going to start to become a problem now for the Huns as well. Probably just hold on to these last 2 guns, but for a map that Unsettled Resentment, in theory, don't play, haven't opted to choose. Remember, this was automatically picked for them in the veto as they were not present. I think they're doing pretty well on the T side so far.
Attack. Going aggro. And hoping to get some space towards T-spawn. Adipos won't hear a thing. And that save is looking successful.
Terrorists win.
You are showing that they are capable of punishing some very isolated mistakes that Huns are unfortunately making for themselves. Putting themselves in some very odd positions. Moving into the 8th, let's see if we can have some kind of equalisation. Not a lot of money there for the Huns, but they are going to buy what they can. Get some extra utility, go down to the Famises as well as the MP9. And Bartak going to be happy with the AK carried across. What are we doing down towards the B site here? 1-4 split, 9 solo in con. He's got a couple of members that could split on him with not much helping hands. He realizes the pressure that could be coming his way, so we'll just fall back towards the bathrooms. I'd say that is the better option, the safer approach. Just get the info. Allow your teammates to try and find some kind of pressure elsewhere. And they're looking at that over towards Monster. What is Bartak doing? He's just sort of jumping around there. Yeah, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? That was weird. Anyway, they get the info they're looking for.
Yeah, if anything, he's maybe just trying to bait for this short play, but that's not too good at all. Very nice double from Adipos, and look, Score's going to be able to take him down, but damage has already been done. And Unsettled Resentment looking very good in this round as well. 9 over toward A. He'll be able to play around this smoke. He's going to hide inside of it. Might be able to deny the bomb plan. Looking to nade open the smoke. That's actually really nice coming through from Score. Bomb plan not quite denied though. It didn't come through quick enough, but Nine's going to be able to get himself another kill, and all of a sudden, as these two players, these two experienced heads of the Mongolian scene combined, they're going to be able to win the round. Defuse, hold the defuse. Twinkie's on the rotate from CT. And I don't think he gets there in time. He won't. He will not. The defuse is going to go through, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Huns just pull a round out. And that is the power of the Huns. That's the power of the Mongolian Tier 2 scene right now. You've got these sort of brief moments of brilliance that make such a big difference. And Nine hiding inside that smoke, denying the bomb plant. Really nice grenade coming through from Score. When they work in tandem, when they work together, they look really good.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of round only happens 1 in every 8 rounds.
Let's see what changes here. Oh,
nice flash.
Good timing on the flash. That one came from over towards that B side as well.
And it was a Rolt. It popped inside the smoke as well, so there was just no info there, no chance to even turn away for it at all.
Yeah.
This is an interesting setup from Adipos. And Score is going to punish him for it. So this round kind of falling away from Unsettled Resentment a little bit as the Huns look like they've locked him a little bit more so. Nine needs to be a little bit careful with that peak. There's lots of players on long. So he's just going to call for the rotate and try and take space in bathrooms. Meanwhile, Score on the flank. So at this point, the Huns just going to try and slow things down and see if they can wait for Score. That smoke maybe disrupted a little bit by Cobra Zera. Bartak will go down, but Nine and Cobra Zera good for the trades. And Akari here doesn't have a lot of HP, so he can get rid of Nine. That orb might not be retrievable. Score. Oh, Cobra Zera's got it. Never mind. It's all good. So 6-3. And money, a bit of a problem for Unsettled Resentment. So just when you start to think Unsettled Resentment are getting that half going, they show a bit of susceptibility, give up an important round or two, and now the Huns starting to run away with this CT side again.
Let's see what the Pistolas can do here. Adipos is who I'm looking at. There's smoke about to fade. He's on the short side. Cobra Zera in a spot where he could have seen him, but just full tucked on the short side. Didn't catch a glance. But was close enough to hear that someone was lurking at the monster side of things. For the rest, it is just the slow search. Or could get ran down if Nine isn't careful here. So keep your eyes on this one. Cheeky boost to try to set him up. What is that sandwich line? And Slayer might not get an opportunity to even crack a shot there. So YOLO 267 is Kepler in the kill feed. There we are. Note that one down. Not that I'll remember it. Score should be on for a couple of cheeky eco frags here. Or so you'd think. Bullet's getting low in the magazine. Oh, a little too low. Help me. Help me.
Oh, Nine saved him from downtown with the USP.
Score's name in game is like 9 something, by the way.
Nitan Rancher. It's Nitan Rancher.
Nitan Rancher. Okay.
I don't know what Nitan is. What is Nitan? Googling. What is Nitan?
I'll check that as well.
National Inclusive Transport Advocacy Network. Don't think it's that one.
No, I don't think it's that one.
It might be like a Mongolian word that we just don't even know. Fast play towards B though right now for Unsettled Resentment. They're going to try and charge their way out. That's a good shot hit by 9. And he needs to do a little bit more, which he has so far. He's been able to double down. Twinkie falling. Oh, but 9 eventually getting overrun. And it's all onto Zerold solo. He found 2 from short. He's not making any secret about where he is coming from though. And so YOLO will be able to close that round out for Unsettled Resentment. They're up to 4. So starting to get to that par score on Overpass T side. If they can find this last round of the half, I think would say Unsettled Resentment have done quite well for themselves.
Monster Smoke coming out, as well as the set for the playground. Respected by you are. And no, I'm looking to try and set up score for a bit of a fight here.
Well, Unsettled Resentment, somewhat aware of that possibility. You can see that little bit of spam going through the smoke, but yeah. I don't know that they're going to be expecting score this close up behind the smoke as it starts to fade. He should get the freebie onto Akari. Oh, and a missed shot from Slayer gives him a little bit extra damage. He's going to stick around for some more, and this is where now 9 has to come into his own and get out of dodge, which has not happened. So it ends up being a 3-on-3. Cobrazera very nearly walking into his death, but thinks better of it. Does have an incend. If he chucked that one at Sandbags, he might be able to get himself a free kill. But I wonder what he's going to hold onto it for, because he's the only one holding the B side at the moment. He would love to dump that incend before he has to take a fight here, but looks like he's just going to sit the cheeky angle, see if he can find a timing, and he has done so. He's not aware of another player coming through. That could have been a double kill for Cobrazera if he was just a little bit more bold with the initial swing. In the end, though, this round from Unsettled Resentment, contact play into the B site. Looks like it might work. Zerold not going to make noise on the drop into short water, but that is being covered off and well traded by Adipos. So 5 secured. Unsettled Resentment, not a bad first half.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't it Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
All right, back in for the second half here, and the pistol already underway with a kill going the way of Unsettled Resentment. So pretty tough ask going forward for the Huns to convert this one.
Yeah, we'll see what they're going to be able to do here in the second half. Looking like we're going to see him sending it up towards the long side. See if they can find themselves an opening. But you are just 3 stacked back towards the A site more so than anything over towards B, and that's because they've taken short control. They've pushed all the way through Monster, and they have worlds of information, but yet they're going to still be pushing in bathrooms, hunting for more, and Kepler, whoever that is going to be able to find one before the trade comes through from Cobra.
I think you'll find that that's YOLO267, Mac. I'm surprised you didn't know that. But back into the 3-on-4, and Nitan Rancher, aka Score, is going to be able to find himself a kill as well. He's going to go down to Rinvisible, aka Akari. Adipose at least has a real name. Nice fast flank coming through from Unsettled Resentment. So while there was maybe some excitement for the Huns starting to come back into this pistol, it's not looking likely unless Cobra Zera pops off, and that will not happen. That score is getting a bit too tight for my liking. I don't think the Huns are in any position of strength in this T side right now.
Nah, certainly doesn't look like it. Score doesn't reflect that, and especially with not that much to bring into this second round of the half, it's just going to get even worse. There's not much to stem the bleeding, and we will see this game tied up for sure.
I mean, this is also without Twinkie even really having a fantastic game, and he's typically the big performer for this Unsettled Resentment roster. So there's a little bit more left in the tank for sure. He might start to come online on this CT side, and oh yeah, the Huns are just really leaving a lot to be desired right here. That's a clean shot onto Cobra Zera as well. YOLO having a pretty good game for himself. Deagle's invested for the Huns, but no damage done thus far.
Ooh, not too bad. Slayer catching a nice timing, and you want as many of the kills on the MP9s as possible. Spotted at range. One of 2 of the Ts. are now known, and it seems like they're worried about Nine's position on long. And it should be Akari to find that one in just a moment. Although Nine is going to be tucked there at the tree. Will be seen. And is now trying to create space away from the MP9. And try to get back here with Zeralt. But it's not looking good at all. It's chaotic. It's crazy. And it's you are tying up the score.
Well, let's not judge too much just yet. We have to first see the gun round and see how the Huns look on this T side before we can really lock anything in. But I would say the fact that Unsettled Resentment were able to get 5 on T and then now win the pistol, get themselves to 7-7, quite squarely sets themselves up for a win here on Overpass. But early days in the second half, maybe this gun round can change my perspective somewhat. Looks like it's going to be a fairly default spread initially from the Huns. Nine's going to go very fast in the underpass, and there is a lot of damage waiting for him in the form of util. He walked through a Molotov into a grenade. He was just a dead man. Bartak going to see if he can find a little timing window here, but he's got to get himself 2, and that's just not going to happen again. On an individual level, Unsettlement Resentment very much showing that they can hang with the Huns right now.
Let's see if Ikari can potentially get the info on Zeralt's position. He's worried about a monster push, which could be happening shortly. And Twinkle pushing for info, opting for the con route. Will be able to go fast flank on short and potentially find Zeralt. But the bomb still yet to be spotted. The score really wants to start making a move through Monster. 50 seconds to play with.
Just got to wait for that short smoke to fade.
Yeah.
He needs Zeralt to be able to activate as well. If they're going to try and hit this B side, they have to go together and they both have to win a duel. That's really the only way that this works. It's going to have to be a contact play. Score to probably take the first contact. And he'll win his duel. Zeralt will win his as well, but there is still that fast flank to think about. It's probably not the fastest of flanks. Grenade through here might kill Score. Just bounces off the pillar. He survives on 6 HP. But they're not aware of the monster push, and so I think Score's going to be a dead man in just a second. He is. Now, Zeralt, also on a bit of a flank himself, might be able to pick up Twinkie for free here. Did he fire a shot? It sounded like it. And Twinkie wins that duel anyway. So, 8 on the board. Unsettled Resentment will take the lead for the first time.
Okay. Unfortunate for the Huns. They try again. They try so hard. But they didn't get very far, did they?
No.
Plenty of cash in the bank for Unsettled Resentment. I keep going to say Unsettled Retirement because of last time. Because of the past.
It was an Unsettled Retirement last time because Flying was still in that roster.
That's true.
But no longer. This is an up-and-comer team now.
Who is the number 1 up-and-comer, by the way, Jordan, out of all of these individuals?
I think you would say it's probably Twinkie, unless we're including the Huns. Are we including the Huns?
No, not including the Huns. The Huns have already came up.
It's probably Twinkie, I would say. I don't think the Huns are coming up anymore. I think they're on the downward trend here in this matchup, actually.
That's true.
Like, you know, losing Overpass right here to Unsettled Resentment definitely will hurt them in the long run for this series. It's going to put a lot of pressure on them, and even if they do manage to take Nuke, then find ourselves on Ancient, which is a super winnable game for Unsettled Resentment at that point. And this is the lower bracket as well of ESL Challenger League, and I don't really think you're going to get too many better options or opportunities rather to actually win a cup than this one. Okay, you still have to get through the likes of Rare Adam and Chinggis Warriors both in that upper bracket, but there's no Tyloo, there's no Lin Vision in this particular cup because of other conflicts, let's say. So if you're the Huns and you want to go to ESL Pro League, I think this is a really good opportunity to at least get in that conversation. But maybe letting it slip a little bit here at the hands of Unsettled Resentment. Nine's going to be able to trade there with the Mac 10 and quite a bit of damage done to Slayer. Ooh, good adjustment from Nine. He actually catches the head of Slayer as he tries to back away. Akari doesn't see much. Score still needs to clear out the site. Actually, he's been helped out by Cobra Zera, and Twinkie's walked right into his crosshair. So this round falling apart a little bit for Unsettled Resentment. Neither team looking too phenomenal on the CT side. This has been a good recovery from the Huns, and it'll be a big round to win. It would force that reinvestment from Unsettled Resentment. They don't have a lot of cash to play with after this round. So there is still a world where the Huns can wrestle control of this game back on the C side, but they do need to win a couple of rounds in a row.
I believe in the Mongolians. Let's see what they're up to do with what on paper should be a slightly easier round than what they've had to put up with so far.
You say that, but
it's a 5-7 and then pick 9 on the B side, and it looks like with where Huns are, it should be fine, Jordan. It should be fine. But we'll see what Adipos and Akari can do.
Well, 9 is able to dislodge the MP9. What is YOLO going to get up to in the bathroom? He's being watched for. No, the timing is crazy. Bartak has just turned away. And Cobra Zera, well, Cobra Zera has to get the trade here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's missed the freebie. Oh, this could be awkward. Does just wait patiently on the line, backs himself, and hits that headshot. So he's now allowed to walk into the A side, and they're just sort of inferring from that there's nobody else on A. So transition coming through from 9, but Zerolt's going to get caught in the back from Connector. An unexpected position for Twinkie to find himself in. The smoke through, the spam damage onto Score is so good, and Slayer gets him in the back. This round is just a mess. Unsettled Resentment trying to race that bomb back and forth, and we'll see who wins that race. It is going to be 9 that's going to get to the site, but I don't know if he's going to be allowed to be getting that plant down with Twinkie on the fast flank. Bomb plant denied. The Huns just lose control of it. It's just aggression all over the map from Unsettled Resentment. And the Huns not plugging those holes.
Got to get them plugged, Jordan. Can't leave it open like that. Well, the worst by wins. And now you are certainly in a position where they can find some more success. I guess, you know, the element of surprise, the element of the auto veto and playing a map that's usually a map you don't play can sometimes end up working out, at least for the moment. Look, job's not done. The big question is, when are the Huns going to lock in here? Because this half, they've done kind of nothing, and it's a map they play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the breaking point, to be honest, for Unsettled Resentment. If they lost that round, then the Huns might have started to take control of this map. But now the Huns are going to have to do a little bit more work. Score, again, just... I mean, he's just charging his way up short. And it's going to work on a timing, and because he's really sharp. But that's not going to work every day of the week, and it's certainly not going to work against better teams. Might work in this instance, though, as they should be able to get the bomb plant down. Score just has no chill, bro. He's going to keep on going. And he might get in behind Slayer the way he's motoring along. So Rolt will take the head off of Slayer first. So money broken here from Unsettled Resentment. The Huns achieved what they set out to do initially. Just took them a little bit longer than they would have liked it to have.
Let's see if they can go for a bit of a pace change or something. I feel like they're playing too slow. I feel like they want to be a bit more explosive. What smoke's that? Okay, short extinguishing smoke coming through there. Kind of like it. Score going to be right up in. And with the con control, there is reinforcements not too far away. You are down on a even worse buy than before, but just going for the 4-1 split. With YOLO already fallen towards the A site, that will be the weak site that we know of. But the Huns still just hoping for more information. Winky, unfortunately, strafing a little bit too far back and falling off. So that Deagle no longer poised in a position to punish 9 for a slow peak.
I mean, I can't with this contact play against Deagles out onto the B side. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's okay.
It's okay, guys. It's okay.
It's working. Don't worry about it. Woo! You know what I can see happening there, though, is just like the guy walking out Monster just instantly getting his head banged off.
Yeah.
And then you're like, uh-oh. And then like the next guy dies. And then the next guy dies. And it's like, I've seen this before. I've seen this movie before and I don't like it.
I could see it. I could definitely see that one happening. Are you all right, Jordan? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about your feelings?
No.
Okay.
Real men don't talk about their feelings, Mac.
Oh, okay.
We just bottle it up and become Counter-Strike players.
That's a bad coping mechanism, but it's true. Let's see what we end up with here.
Well, it's a lot of space taken in con for the Huns, but Unset of Resentment are doing a pretty good job of taking the rest of the map. They've got long, they've got outside Monster Tunnel. This is where Score's going to have to really come online, and he's just not prepared for that push at all. Zerolt going to get caught off. Again, 2 individuals on the extremities, standing on their own, dying.
The choice has been made. And now we got Huns with just banana control. No long control. Not really a whole lot going here. And again, just contacting. Bartak no longer here to help out. 9 hoping that this molly will do what they want, which it will this time. 9 finding impact as well. Twinkie still here on the backup side. Oh, and the coverage is there. This is a 2v5, Jordan.
Don't tell me they can win this round, bro. Like, I hate the fact that they can win this round. But it's so possible. Cobra Zera, he needs to win this duel easy as he does. YOLO was low on HP, and now Adipos has a lot to do. He's got no idea where that second T player is coming from, so he will get the freebie onto Cobra Zera, but time is really ticking away from him. He does not have a kit. He's got a smoke, but he's going to have to sit this defuse, and I think 9's already... Yeah, he's already well and truly got this round in the back pocket. Knife out. Knife out. Knife out. No, uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh! What am I watching?
Lordy. Brilliance, maybe? Is that what you're looking for there?
That was, I'm sure, one of those sinking cases of dread for 9 right there. But he's won the round, so it's all good. And they've secured a 2v5.
They have.
Which is just such a Huns way to win a round and potentially win a map as well. I'm not going to say they have won the map. How's that even hit, by the way? That last flick, but
Hitboxes online, left click, bloody has more range than the right click. Pick a one, you know. Multiple choice answers. There you go.
It's on the side of his screen, mate. I mean, I suppose if I was swinging a knife around like that, it probably would. You'd probably be able to scratch a guy to your right.
Yeah, it's definitely what you're
Realism.
looking for.
Realism.
Realize.
Huns going to be up to 12. Unless YOLO picks up the greatest round of all time.
Ooh. No saving there for YOLO 267. And there's 3 chances for you to complete the comeback and upset the Huns. But it feels like there's just been a point where the Huns have gone, okay, we can play this game, guys. Let's go. And we've got 3 members going towards B. Much faster approach. No early smokes. No flashes really into short, except flashing for themselves. There is that boost up. And that second man is spotted. You can see he heads instantly turn towards that short side. Hit comes through onto Zeralt. Smoke and nade to try and slow things down. And Twinkie happy just to fight like a madman. Incon 9 is still alive with the AWP. And he's hitting some crackers.
He is definitely, and that is why he is the player to watch today. They need to go back and get the bomb. 9, I think, is dead here. Yeah, he is. He was smart enough to check it, but didn't hit the shot. So now Score's going to get this one done solo. And, I mean, it is possible. Score's a good player. He's also pretty switched on. Just going to take his time about it. He's got plenty of time to work with. Obviously, first has to go back for that bomb. He might be given a bomb plant here, Mac, and he's got a lot of util if he does get a plant down to delay the CTs. If he can kill Adipos, or even just get the bomb plant down and force the 2v1, this is a very winnable round for him. Adipos is going to take the opportunity to creep up closer. But Score could really go anywhere here. He could have gone into the monster tunnel. He's going to decide to play it aggressively, as is the Score gameplay mechanic tactic, and he just wins it because he's better. He's sharper, and that is it. 13-9, and the Huns have won the map. It was a kind of ugly way to win Overpass. I'm not going to lie. It was not pretty, but thank you very much to Score and 9 for the hard carry. They get themselves map 1 on the board. Yeah, it was effort by committee for the most part, but then the end was definitely all 9 doing a whole bunch of work. But mate, where was that? Where was that earlier in the game, you know? There was some crazy things going down, and UR was gifted probably too many opportunities. And moving into the second map of Nuke, you know UR are going to have their heads on their shoulders a little bit more so. So hopefully we get a good amount from them moving into the second map of the series.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't in Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Kidia.
Map 2 coming up in just a second. It is going to be a Nuke, and that is the map pick of the Huns. I think they were benefited, let's say, by the fact that Unsettled Resentment did not turn up for the veto and Overpass came through as map 1, because had that been a map that Unsettled Resentment were familiar with, I think it might have been a win for Unsettled Resentment. Let's see how they go, though, on Nuke, whether or not Huns can now close this series out 2-0.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to be able to do and what options are given to them. Where the Huns are, this is going to be the A-pot, molly towards top hut, perfectly placed to deal with Akari, and that A site is open for the taking. Although lobby has been lost for just a moment. Trades coming through from Cobra Zera, and it's looking like they are all aware of Slayer's position, giving him a chance by fighting. Just plant the bloody bomb.
Nope. We've got to shoot him in the head. Or let him shoot us in the head.
Well,
whatever. Either way.
They get it done. They get the extra
They do.
little bit of money. Surely they get themselves a little bit of extra confidence off the back of that one.
Well, I mean, I think it also just comes down to potentially the Huns maybe not expecting to play Overpass tonight. I don't know if, they would have come into this match necessarily thinking that Overpass was going to be on the table. Probably were setting themselves up for, I would say, maybe more something like an Ancient and then a Nuke.
Yeah.
So that may have been a little bit of a curveball. So, maybe we're asking a little bit too much for them to have had a super clean game on Overpass, just getting it over the line. Maybe enough. We'll see. I think if they, close this game out on Nuke really comfortably, then no harm, no foul. But we shall see. Again, not a whole lot of nuance to this round, is there really, from the Huns, right? You've just got Cobra Zera taking an aim duel from Silo on outer. You've got Score kind of just finding a timing out through Heart. Having a little bit of a look here into Annex as well. It's not overall a massively thought out round necessarily for the Huns in that respect, but it's working.
Bomb has been planted.
At range, YOLO going to be able to lay down the law, so to speak. It's not a very long law, and it didn't even make it through government. So, won't get too much going. Huns able to double down, get out of the gates screaming. I'm sure they're going to be pretty happy with that start. Maybe they realize, hey, we probably didn't take map 1 seriously enough. And now here we are. Looking to waltz their way through the third, which will be UR's first gun round. Need utility brought in. But where are they going to place it? Just one towards main. Looking like 3 towards the A site, and that's the place to be.
Bartak's got lost in the smoke for a second there. Cobra Zera's got lost in the smoke too. Huns map pick, by the way.
Unfortunate.
We're going to plan on B, but it's a 2v or 3v5. Where's the third player? Are they both stuck at Ven?
I can't tell. I think so. Yes.
Wait.
Reinvisible will see this first because he's not in the actual corner. Wait.
Whoa. Oh, he was Silo. The other player was Silo. The player was Silo or player was Vent?
Right.
I was like, where's this guy? Well, look, not unwinnable, but very, very difficult for the Huns here. Bartak's going to have to get a clean kill, and it's not going to happen. Bomb is not planted for Zerol. Wait, have they got time on the defuse?
No.
What am I watching? What am I watching?
Lordy. Lord have mercy. Gaben.
What am I seeing? Dude, it's a new HUD, right? It's a new HUD for Challenger League. We're normally using the old HUD. So I had to like check myself for a second there because I was like looking at the bars and I was like, I'm pretty sure this one's not going down fast enough, you know?
Yeah. And you'd be right, Jordan.
And that was the case. Yeah. The math was mathin'. So the Huns get away with a little cheeky one. Very similar, I think, in vibe to one of the cheeky rounds that they got away with in Overpass as well. There was like that one sort of, what was it, 2v4 round or 2v5 round that they were able to pick up, and that sort of just changed the tempo of the map. And I wonder if just winning that round there for Huns and obviously going on to convert this round and kind of starting on a really positive foot is going to change the tempo of this map as well. See if Unsettled Resentment can recover from this one. Zerol's going to go down, so that'll be an AK in the hands of Adipos. But yeah, very goofy, very Asian CS clip of the week moment.
And off the back of that, not finding too much more. Adipos can definitely carry this rifle across to the next. Give you some extra stopping power with the one tap potential. But then what? You know? Then what, Jordan?
Well, hopefully a round win or two for Unsettled Resentment is what?
Is what?
What?
Exactly. And whoa. Mac 10. Space
Just
creation.
a non-stop W key button from the Huns, really, isn't it? Okay, 9's going to go down, but B-side's been taken. And Invisible is peeking while swapping guns. So that's not ideal. It's not worked out. Have the Huns already won this round? Or are Unsettled Resentment going to give it a crack? Surely they're not. Yeah, they're going to go save. So this will be a 5-0 lead for the Huns.
Okay, everything looking A-OK. 5-0 on the T side. Huns, at this point, looking like a completely different team to what we got from the Overpass. Maybe even
Yeah, it's been a little bit wonky. I think still, you know, it's like it's not been all them to get to 5-0. Let's just mention that Unsettled Resentment have not exactly been in their best shape. So I still would like to see a bit more from the Huns. That was a lot of headshots onto Twinkie to not get a lot of damage at all. That sounded like 2 or 3 headshots at least.
He's unbeatable.
Well, see, again, I don't understand how Score's allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Do you?
He's just the best. He's been the GOAT forever. Experienced gamer. And And YOLO. Love to see that timing if you are a UR fan. 9 has gotten in behind enemy lines but hasn't made a move in either way. So may end up getting caught if he can open up the A site. Score can pop up the vent. He's got the bomb on his back in lobby though. Oh, we didn't see that. On the ladder, gets that. Cheeky bit of good RNG. And 9 doesn't want to lose the C4. Which way are they going? They'll finally group up. But they've lost the read on a couple of these CTs. And I have a feeling that YOLO is going to be able to get a lovely timing on the flank. Slayer tanking the molly. Draw attention his direction. And there's YOLO for the first and maybe even the last.
Well, let's see what 9 can do. He was pretty good on the first map. This is going to be a tough one for him with the rifle in hand, but the orb shot missed. Ooh. Oh, man. There was a chance. There was definitely a small chance.
There was.
But that's the first round on the board for Unsettled Resentment. Does come at somewhat of a cost. Just the 2 players alive. So a chance here for the Huns to continue their good work.
Outside wall, going to be the call to order. And it looks like there isn't really too much happening from the CTs. Maybe a couple of random shots here and there. The bomb will successfully make its way across before the smokes fade. Zerolt able to lurk his way around as well, scoring the meanwhile. Just drawing attention back towards the door side, making a whole world of noise. With Bartak right next to him.
Gets himself another one. I mean, there's just so much control here on the A site for the Huns. Should just be a free round for them. Akari can't surely get a double. Not going to happen. Slayer up the vent will be dealt with by Cobra Zera. And I did think YOLO was spotted out earlier, but apparently not. So that now is information that Score is going to be gathering. But this is well on its way to a 6th for the Huns. Bartak not able to win that duel. Okay.
You like that one?
I love it.
And it's looking good for numero 6. YOLO, can't save there, mate. Can't park there. What are you doing?
Terrorists win.
He was dead to the explosion if he wasn't dead to the guns. And just a walloping start to Nuke for Huns. Getting harder and harder for you are to convince me that they're going to be in with a shot at all this game.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just that the mental's starting to break here for Unsettled Resentment, or if it's just a series of unfortunate events that's leading them to an awkward spot. But if this round is not theirs, then I think you're right. This one could be well and truly over. They've got a bit of outside presence. Zerolt's going to be clearing out underneath Silo. A lot of spam through that smoke, but no real sizable connection. No connection at all, in fact. Bit of a slower approach this time from the Huns. Actually don't mind seeing them slow things down here. Some of those faster, aggressive plays do kind of get me raising my eyebrows, but
Yeah.
seems like something a little bit more methodical. That nade into Secret is going to be perfectly timed onto Adipos. Working their way together on Outer, and they'll be able to deal with Slayer pretty comfortably. I like this one from the Huns. This is probably, I mean, so far looking like the best round that I've seen them play, although, yeah, that trade needed to come through, and it does. Now Score, waiting for that re-aggression into lobby, and he gets out alive as well, despite the fact that Akari was pushing through. Got no idea where Akari is, though. So this bomb might get caught in transition.
It's just a real slow approach. And until then, they get the info on Invisible. And unfortunately for him, he couldn't win the 1v3.
Seven and 1. Money is on the breaking point for Unsettled Resentment, so they've decided to go for what I guess could only be explained as a half buy. So you almost get the sense they're kind of hedging their bets that should they lose this round, they'll still have enough to buy in the next round. But they're going to try and get it done with a couple of M4s. So really just trying to extend the buys as long as possible on this CT side. But it doesn't really seem that the weaponry has been too much of an issue for the Huns at all. A lot of these rounds have looked super easy. And with no util to delay them, I think the Huns are just going to be allowed to do essentially whatever they want. Bomb's working its way down secret alone. So that's interesting. From Cobra Zero. Meanwhile, the rest of the lads are taking A controls. Arolt's found himself a double, and so Cobra Zero is just going to be called back across, and that'll pretty much be that for this round.
Bomb has been planted.
Attack catches the timing, and that'll just be that. Huns reading Nuke like a book, making it their perfect place to play, and really just schooling you are on how they should be expecting this to really play out. There's just no real defense being given. What's going on? A lot of these Chinese teams are usually very solid on Nuke, but today it just isn't working their way at all. Shots aren't hitting. Veto buttons aren't being pressed. You know, like everything's just going wrong for them.
Yeah, another nice opener, this time from Score again. Charging their way out onto the A side very quickly. Beating Unsettled Resentment with pace. I mean, you can tell they're quite well drilled on Nuke, right? Like, this is their map pick. This is where they feel comfortable. They're able to quite swiftly work their way through the map in multiple different setups. They seem to be pretty comfortable with a lot of them. Shots are largely being connected as well. It's just been pretty easy going for the Huns on this one. Another save for Unsettled Resentment, which is going to be a bit of pill to swallow.
Terrorists win.
How bitter are we talking?
What's the bitterest thing you can think of?
A lime?
Yeah. Like a really sour lime. That's pretty bitter.
Apparently, wait, bitter for coffee? Dark chocolate?
Yeah.
Have I got my flavor off? Maybe I've got my flavor off.
Well, a sour lime is sour, I guess.
Well, what's ginger? Because I think that's bitter.
Ginger's spicy, I feel.
Actually, yeah. Radish, also kind of spicy. Turmeric, also kind of spicy. Maybe there's a correlation here, Jordan. There's broccoli is. I wouldn't say that's...
Broccoli?
Broccoli's kind of nothing. Like when it's cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, I would say it's sweet. Like, it's got a little sweet to it.
Google's kind of all over the place with what bitter is. But now I'm questioning if I'm right, if I'm wrong. And while that's all been going down, you are going to be able to come through with another round. But I honestly think it is just too late.
Kind of similar vibe to Overpass, wasn't it? Where, you know, a little bit toward the back end for Unsettled Resentment in that first half, you thought, well, something to play with.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if you can quite go that far. Even if they do get the third here, is it really something to play with in the second half? Well, you'd have to have a damn good T-side, and it's a map that apparently Unsettled Resentment don't really play. And again, another couple of nice entries. The first one didn't go quite their way, but just doesn't scare the Huns at all. They keep charging their way out onto the side. Twinkie's able to find himself too. Nade into the smoke. Score's going to be brought down. Twinkie's popped off in that round. So it's all on to Zerol. This might be a third in the end for Unsettled Resentment. And ladder being watched, so easy one in the end. Unsettled Resentment do claim 3 at the end of the first half.
And we are right back into the action for the second half. You are now, it's their turn to run at Huns. And let's see what Huns are going to be able to do to try and lock this in. So far, no good, as Cobra Zera is going to be falling straight out of the gates to Akari. Nine at least able to maintain that secret control, but drawing attention back towards outside means inside is going to be easier to take. No one here to defend it. And it's just going to be retake played by the Huns.
Yeah, so it would seem. That is not a great start to the retake, and there's a headshot over onto Score as well, so he's feeling the hurt. Looks like the Huns are going to really struggle to accelerate in the second half. We may have a little bit more work required. 9 with that P250, good for a couple in this round, but no more happening around the map, so that will be a 4th for Unsettled Resentment. I get the guns in their hands early, and very much respecting the setup from the Huns as far as a potential force buy is concerned. Lots of rifles coming through in this one for Unsettled Resentment.
Okay. Top part Molly. Bit of action towards outside. HE chipping away, and unfortunately the USP cannot finish the job. But easy pickings on the unarmored CTs. Take note of that as well. Top main smoke, the waterfall one, had missed, so essentially useless. Unless they were doing it on purpose, you never know. A site looking like it's going to be under fire, but then there's no CTs here to defend. Zero forced to fight to make sure Score's not seen up on the boost side. YOLO empties the whole magazine and barely hits a shot. You hate to see it. But YOLO will get there eventually. Make it cleaner after the reload and clean up shop. So no rifles will be lost. And everything's A-okay as Huns get the guns online.
Yep, this will be a good insight as to maybe how deep this map is going to go. Whether or not the Huns can have a clean round here. Nine's not got a whole lot of util to play with. There we go. Some getting purchased through, maybe tossed over as well. I think he only had 500 in the bank, so it's all been shuffled around. And out of the gates, nothing too untoward happening at the start of this round. A very standard setup from both teams. Lots of smokes on outer to try to get Adipos maybe across to secret. He's not game to cross though, it looks like, and smokes are going to be fading in a second, so that window is now closed. And he does catch Sorolt though. So ramp room under a bit of pressure here. Bartak got a big job to do, and that's a pretty tough ask on a line like that one unless you hit the opening kill. So pretty much round over at this point, even though 9 has got that kill on the Adipos. Best case scenario here probably for the Huns is just to save these 3 guns, though it looks like they're going to have a bit of a peek into the B-bomb site. We'll see if maybe Cobra Zero can find himself a little bit of a timing. 9 certainly has not been able to. And again, you would think a save here is probably the right choice.
You'd be right. And that's exactly what we're going to get. Nothing too silly, nothing too crazy. Just making sure it is the long game that gets played. So far even, flawless from UR here. On their T side.
Terrorists win.
Getting a little bit of work done. But how far can they string these rounds together, and how far can they grow their economy? Because at the moment it's looking very, very healthy. Plenty brought in. Galil still in the mix. A1S for Twinkie. And the Huns, on the other hand, just going to go for the half buy around the saved M4s.
Well, starting to feel some level of confidence, it seems, maybe Unsettled Resentment. Very quick through the map this time around. Overpass down into Secret. There's a lot of players waiting for him. He does have some backup. But this is the kind of setup that could really work. Flash is going to allow those CTs out of the vent. But Huns are going to start to be worrying that they've let a little bit too much map control slip by dedicating 3 players down to be so early. And the A site looking a little bit weakened. This wrap from Outer also not a bad shout at all, but there's going to be a lobby crunch from the Huns in response. There's a lot of layers happening in this round, but if they don't find a kill, the CTs here are going to lose this round because they're going to lose the site. I don't imagine they're going to be able to make a retake happen with the guns they've got.
Lobby control's a good place to have these individuals, though. Or unless they go all the way lower. They're going lower. CTs might be able to fast flank from the trophy push. They're just there. They hear everything, but they have gone loud. 5-7 at this range gets knocked out. And Akari. Slayer. Both opening up that lower site. 2v4. And this rifle could be incredibly valuable going forward, just to make sure that there is still some decent utility for a couple of these individuals in the next. So you really have to decide what you want to do here, quick smart. And the save is going to be the call. YOLO already on the hunt, realizing what could be just around the corner.
Ooh. Well, that'll be Zeralt to hold on to an AK at least. Bit of extra damage done to the T economy, but not a big concern. 9-7. Looks like we're going to get another close map here. Remember, this was a 9-3 first half. And so far, the Huns have not won a CT round on their map pick.
Little weird, but also reminiscent of what we saw from them on Overpass, you know? Solid
Yeah.
T side, a little bit of silly buggers. The second half just struggled to sort of close out the game before they remembered how to play the game. So let's see if the same old thing here again, or if it is going to be a little bit different later on. But yeah, they're just chilling. I know they've still got a little round buff up, and they've got a full buy here. Bit of action towards outside, and Zeralt's going to get flashed in by 9 to find Satapos. Cobra Zero not cleared, not checked even there on the top of Hut. Goes for the AK and looks for the clip. But he will get traded. Number 3 alive, AK in hand, couple of upgrades. There's everything that the Huns could have asked for in that round.
Yeah, I mean, what a difference the opening pick makes, right? All of these rounds from Unsettled Resentment, we've seen them get the opening kill, and they've been able to sort of slowly squeeze the defense in to awkward positions. But as soon as Huns get the opening pick, Unsettled Resentment just completely capitulate. Back into another one. 9 finds the opening pick this time. So a shift in momentum, no doubt. Can Unsettled Resentment recover from that? The AWP shot missing for Akari. But do you have a player out on the site? Squall's going to be able to trade it back down. Cobra Zero gave away his position on top of Hut as well with that shot. 9 with the AWP in hand is just making the difference, and it does not seem like that T-AWP is doing a whole lot of anything, regardless of whose hands it's in.
Look, it happens. What can Layup provide here? Hunting down all the action, but the action will come straight to him with the scope of 9, and there's 11. 2 more needed, and the Huns remembering how to play this CT side, punishing you up and not getting caught off. Game's live. Let's see if UR can do it with a low buy. They have a few rounds tonight. One with minimal brought in. Yellow going to burn down slightly. We'll get chunked by the HE, whatever it was. There's one more HE which will expose him, and he's half health and he's done.
Slayer's going to just walk through that smoke. Oh, but he's now been spotted out, and Score, as ever, is not afraid of taking the fight. This time helped out by a flash from 9. But that teamwork shining through. This should be an easy 12th for the Huns, and it's like, as soon as that round gets picked up by the Huns, that is the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's just looked like a bit of a walk in the park since then. So, maybe just kind of familiarizing themselves with what Unsettled Resentment are setting up and doing on that T side. Also, getting to a point where they can afford the orb, they can afford a bit of, that extra util. And all good in the hood in the end. 12-7. The Huns look like they're going to close this one out.
Every tool they need to do so is on the belt. The only thing lacking is Score not picking up a kit with 7k in the bank. Keep an eye on it, you never know. Might need to later on. And you are this time heavier presence towards the outside. 4 members invested this time. The smoke break timings were pretty good. But have they learnt their lesson? I don't think there's any more HEs to even play with, but they've bought so much time that 9 gets a freebie on the smoke fade. It's looking pretty good for Huns to close it out with a 2-0 unless some shots can be fired back in this direction. And Slayer doesn't have the most accurate gun to do it. 13-7, going to be the score of Nuke here. 2-0, big W for the Huns.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, another solid victory, obviously, over Unsettled Resentment. That's their second 2-0 in as many matches. So good little recovery from the one that they did lose to them earlier on in the month. But I still think, again, if you're the Huns here and you're going to be taking this style, this brand of Counter-Strike to the major, which, realistically speaking, is probably the focus for the Huns for the rest of this year, right? They're going to be going to the major. They've got the VRS points already. I think there's a lot that needs to be kind of tightened up, and it is going to be enough to get over a team like Unsettled Resentment 2-0 in ESL Challenger League Asia. But in the grand scheme of things, like, who is Unsettled Resentment? Like, nobody knows these guys. They're a fairly fresh team of fairly fresh players playing in a fairly inconsequential league, all things considered. So you need to find another level. You need to find another level of cohesion here as the Huns if you want to go deep when we do get to major time. And I'm not saying that that's impossible. I actually think it is possible. I think there's some very sharp players on this lineup. I think there's a lot of talent, but they do need to lock in over the next sort of couple of months and really find their footing, because while that was good enough here, I don't know that it's going to be good enough going internationally.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And you really need to bring your A game, because if you get knocked out at this point and you don't really have much else to play in leading towards the next sort of season, and you don't really get the reps and you don't get the prac in. And up and coming teams, they want to play more, they want to play a lot of Counter-Strike, and they want to just get as much experience as they possibly can. That is the key to success, making your way through, these leagues towards the top level of Counter-Strike. Or even, at this level, this is where you're trying to put your best foot forward, hopefully get poached by a better team at some point. That's the other aspect or angle that you can kind of go for. Although it would be nice to see some new teams keep it together. That being said, though, look, happy that the Huns are putting themselves in a good position to potentially qualify for another season of Pro League. They're not too many steps away now from doing so.
Yeah, look, it's still a bit of an uphill battle, though. Obviously, tomorrow, / technically today, as we've now ticked over to Thursday, at least for me, Rare Atom and Chinggis Warriors in the upper bracket final. So those are the other two teams that the Huns are at this point kind of jostling with. And we don't really, I think, have a major favorite out of the three. I would say probably Rare Atom is the one that you'd expect to walk away with this cup. but I think both Huns or Chinggis Warriors could do it. You know, Huns and Chinggis Warriors can take matches off of one another on any given day. Rare Adam can certainly drop series to those kinds of teams as well. So the opportunity is definitely there. And what I was talking about a little bit earlier on as well in this broadcast was that it feels like the best chance because there's no Lin Vision, there's no Tyloo. You know, we don't necessarily know that that's going to be the case going further forward, that those two teams are going to be missing in future cups. So it will make the job a bit more difficult if Lin Vision comes back. For example, they won Cup 1 in Asia. So that's where the bracket is sitting at the moment. And it's been a nice little bracket run from the Huns. They did get knocked down pretty early, but most of the results have been 2-0s. The only one where they did get pushed to a third map was by Boring Players, which is another Chinese team. Okay. A few notable names in there. ZDR 2-2, you might remember those names. But aside from that, pretty clean run. 2-0 against Nomads, 2-0 against Eruption, now 2-0 against Unsettled Resentment. So it does seem like they've got the domestic competition on lock. And then it's maybe the Chinese teams that give them a little bit more trouble. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not it's going to be Rare Adam or Chinggis Warriors down to the lower bracket consolidation final based on tomorrow's match.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens after that tomorrow's match. But at the moment, I'm happy with what we got today. At least more so on Nuke. You know, the Huns locking it in, showing us what they're capable of. And I'd love to see more Mongolian CS because that's on the rise. They are currently, you know, the best team in the world at the moment, according to the VRS, is a Mongolian team. So, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I necessarily would say that they're the best team in the world. And in fact, I think actually I saw Blitz on Instagram saying he also doesn't think they're the best team in the world. So they've got a little bit of a ways to go. But who cares? VRS says so, then I guess it is so. But that's pretty much us done for the day here for Asia. We'll be back again tomorrow. Mac, are you going to be back tomorrow?
Yes, for OS.
On ANZ? Yeah, me too. Woo! Back again for OS. So if you're interested in catching back up with us again, we'll be back tomorrow for the Oceania match. Hope you do enjoy your night, and we'll see you then.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good.